away and sharing those experiences with you. Gussie Dup is a hereditary Grey Witch who balances the energy of light and dark magic. Mother of Coven Dup, Gussie is a powerful oracle and underworld communicator with clairvoyant, clairaudient, and clairsentient abilities. She's the medium, counselor, and healer of the group and is responsible for most Coven Dup invocation rituals. She is looking forward to this life change as it will allow her time to teach more and work on the long-awaited Purple Door Tarot deck.
The final plea.
Our plan is multifaceted and rather open-ended, but we are guided in this fluid direction as we share our knowledge and understanding with any person who is curious enough to ask, and with the many witches we will meet along our journey. We would love you to come along with us on this evolution. Will you consider contributing $1 or more if you have it to spare to keep our Purple Door active and accessible to all who ask for entry? We appreciate anything that you can offer, and if you are unable to donate at this time, we ask that you please share. Word of mouth is our favorite method of advertising, after all. Be a part of this, a part of us.
In the meantime, we'll keep the porch light on at the Purple Door and the kettle of brewing on the bus for a good cup of tea and maybe even a tea leaf reading. Just ask. Thank you for being a part of our wonderful community as well as for your support.
Come to the house at the end of the lane with the purple door. When the sun goes down, there you will find the help you need.
Mm. Woo-hoo. I love cranberry juice.
I don't blame you. We invite you to take part in a witchy spiritual journey with us.
Join us on our adventure across the country as we uncover the twisted tales of generational hauntings, community shadows, and family curses bound to the land. We are just two witchy folks committed to spiritual growth with an evolving group of fellow coven members who also love to help the community and give back to the land. We're in process of moving out of our house and into our bus-turned witchy caravan. Soon we'll start our journey across the country to connect with fellow witches and seekers, and we need your help.
A little twisted history and a purple door. Until a little over a year ago, we both had tourism industry jobs in our home base of beautiful Fort Townsend, Washington. As owners of Twisted History Tours, we offered haunted history walks, EVP spirit sessions, seances, fireside storytelling, tarot parlors, open circle rituals, and even a grand witches' ball. We were featured on shows such as Haunted Towns and Seattle's Evening Magazine, to name a few. We loved our life and it loved us. Our day jobs allowed us the time to nurture into existence a worldwide network of witches on Facebook in 2013. Since then, our beloved Purple Door offers educational support, fellowship, and counsel to all who knock.
Within this constant community, we have been honored to offer spiritual seekers a haven to learn about themselves. With the help of thousands of witches, our vision expanded, as did our circle. Eventually, Coven Up was founded along with a new mission.
The vision and mission sparks another idea. We began witnessing the need for physical healing and spiritual evolution on a broader scale. We began observing the necessity for real education about witchcraft, paganism, heathenry, and Wicca in the modern world. Soon others, healers, shamans, herbalists, performers, began to share the dream that a traveling medicine caravan of witches around the country could provide just what we envisioned.
This energy caught the
Sound.
got the sniffles. Mm. Hello, everybody. It's Gussie Duck, and sometime around 4:20ish. So thanks for joining me for 420 Tarot, and I hope it has been as beautiful a day wherever you live as it has been where we live. It has been just maybe not the warmest of temperatures, but just a bright, brisk day, a clean, crisp day. And it's so wonderful to see the sun kind of poking back out. I've been lucky enough to be able to say that the last few days. Although we did have quite the windstorm yesterday. Did you guys feel that full moon energy and the changes on the wind at all? I know I sure did. I sure did. And I woke up this morning feeling as if that wind had blown out some of the negative energy from my space, that perhaps we were indeed um, turning a corner and experiencing something new. Oh my goodness, what's up with this? What's been ground in here? Says the witch. You never know what you're gonna find in a witch's house, that's for sure. Mortar and pestle with wax inside. Curious and curious and curious. Okay, so uh, please, while I get settled in here, like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Um, if you noticed at the beginning of this 420 Tarot, or if at the end, if you have a moment to watch, there's a video that Grim and I put together describing our GoFundMe, which right now that's the only way to donate to our cause. But we are going to get our Patreon back up and running one of these days, and we'll let you know. We really appreciate all the effort, whether it be financial on your end or energetic on your end, or just sharing and talking with your friends. Word of mouth advertising is our favorite way to go. But please take a moment to watch that if you will, especially if you're a member of the Purple Door or Covened Up. It would be great for you to know kind of where we are and what's going on. So let me just. By the way, I'm just going to mention this. If you happen to get contacted by someone during this 420 Tarot and they say, if you want a reading, send me a private message or whatever, please don't fall for that. That's a scam artist at work, and they seem to be all over the internet. "420 Tarot," you ask? Yes, I do smoke weed. Yes, it is legal in the state that I live in. No, I don't, condone it in other ways or other usages or anything other than at 420 I take a bit of a time for myself, usually do some meditation. Today I'm having a drink, a really nasty looking drink that Grim concocted for me. What's in here, by the way?
Oh boy.
Want to try some?
I need to make a slight correction to what you had said.
It sort of smells okay.
I'll tell you the ingredients here in a moment. But you said you don't condone weed unless it's for what you're doing right now at 420. Those are the words that you used.
Did I really?
Yes. Oh. I thought you might want to clarify.
Yeah. So we use cannabis safely and responsibly around our Covenstead. We don't drive when we use it. We are consciously aware of its consumption, and we are not encouraging it to be in touch with your spiritual side any more than what you're already doing. I just prefer to take this time just a little bit of a step away. I did it anyways, typically around 4 or 4:20, but I couldn't resist 4:20 tarot. It has such a ring to it. So here we are, and it doesn't even mean that you have to enjoy it yourself. These readings are not for stoners; they're for anybody. I just happen to smoke some weed, a little cannabis while I do it, and some days I skip that altogether. If you look back on some of our other ones,
Oh, that is interesting.
isn't that? And it smells a little. I hate to say it, but it smells a little sewer gassy. I'm serious. But I love my honey, and he has good alchemy, and I'm trying to heal my insides, so I will drink this.
It looks like mud, smells like sewer gas, but does it taste bad?
No, the taste is good. Ironically, it tastes like a melted popsicle. What flavor I can't quite tell, but a melted popsicle. It's nice and crisp and cold and fruity, a little bit tart, like a sweet tart.
Well, the ice cubes are actually frozen strawberries.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
You with me on that?
What's the brown sludge?
The brown sludge is a combination of a little bit of protein powder, some apple, some different vegetable puree powders and whatnot. And
You're not giving away your secrets.
I'm not giving away my secrets. And a heavy dose of cranberry, very
That's the
frozen
tart
cranberry tartness.
So what's the green powder? That's the protein powder?
The green powder is the mixture of different vegetables and apple.
Don't you want to try some of Grimm's gross mixture?
Hey.
It tastes good. The smell's a little off-putting. As long as you don't smell while you drink, you just kind of go in. Mm-hmm. Here's to my health. Anyways, let's take a look at a tarot card for today. I just want to mention, because I feel like there's somebody watching out there, if you join us at our 7-ish time, when Grim and I we've been trying to get back into doing our live streams for those of you that watch us. So please join us at 7-ish. We are Pacific Coast time. So on the western side of the United States, over there, Seattle, that area. So make sure you adjust for the time difference. But we've been trying to go live when we feel up to it, but more frequently than we have been recently. So you're welcome to join us. And just wanted to point out that, we don't always stick on the perfect topic that we choose. But tonight's topic has something to do with hexing. And I thought that I would just mention that because some of you might be interested in joining us on that. Okay, let's see what we got. I am calling into this time and space the energies needed for our insight and wisdom, for our protection. I'm asking for our higher selves, our connection to the divine, the God Goddess energy, our own past lives, our own ancestors that stand guard behind us. I call in the powers that be that are here for our utmost and highest good, and all others are cast aside. I ask that this space remains safe. Yeah, I do feel unsettled heartbeats. That's the best way I can put it. I feel some unsettled heartbeats. It's been an interesting day. I don't know about you, but I feel like people around me are suddenly like making some strides in their own understanding of themselves. And I couldn't be prouder than I am to be a part of that process if I am playing a part in that process. I'm not saying that I am for everyone, but I've just noticed this uncocooning of people. And it's something we've spoken about for quite a while. Um,
We've got a spammer.
we have a spammer? Oh, cool. I wonder what he or she will attempt to do. You know, I really have no place in here for people like that. It's really not that kind of space. And I don't understand. I feel sorry for people like that because they just don't have their own ingenuity or know how to like do things integrally. So they take things from other people. And I don't mean to hijack or let them hijack this reading because that's not what is about to happen, especially after drinking Grimm's super
Goo.
Grimm's gross health
Kicking
juice.
the camera.
Do I keep kicking the camera? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
just a little bit. I'll try and.
I've got my foot sticking out of the air. Let me shuffle my cards. Let me shuffle the cards. I only did it 2 times, so I'm just going to keep talking for a minute while I shuffle 5 more times. And hope that you stick around with me for a minute because, you know, we never quite know what I'm going to say. But let's hope that whatever I say clearly, that you are able to understand me if you're the one that needs to hear the words that I'm speaking. May I speak clearly and confidently, and may you hear the words that are intended. May we both have a better understanding of ourselves. And I need to hire someone to count me when I shuffle and talk at the same time. Because usually what I have is just one person sitting across from me. I don't talk while I do this. It's very quiet, but they're watching me shuffle, so they have something to do. But while I'm shuffling, I tend to yap at you guys, and then I lose count of how many times I shuffled. So I'm just going to say that's good. It doesn't have to be 7. It's just one of my rigid little moments. Doesn't have to be. I am the maker of my own universe, and I just dropped a card, and I'll bet you that's the one we're supposed to look at. I'm getting it, Grim. Thank you. Woo! It's a good one, too. Just a moment. Okay, 3 of Pentacles. I'll take a look at that card. It's got some beautiful colors. Whenever I pull this card, I always appreciate the colors on it for some reason. There's something about it to me that is appealing. But I don't even remember what I was actually saying as that card popped out of the deck. But it is most definitely the 2 of Pentacles, and it is most definitely the card for us to guide us on to our next best step. Let's take a look. This card, you know, the number 2 is, it's all about balance, isn't it? It's all about finding that unity with another soul or another connection and finding the balance, whether that means it's the balance in a relationship or the balance between your work and your home life or the balance between how much time you spend on social media versus how much time you spend with your family. These are all things to consider as we go through our daily rounds. We are constantly trying to keep things in balance. Let me tell you an example of that. Just today, I was talking to a dear sister from the Purple Door, Covened Up, and she said to me, well, I would rather just, I would just rather do it my way than have to do, okay, I don't think she'll mind if I tell the little backstory. I just won't name names. We were talking about making cascarilla powder. For those of you that don't know that name, that is white eggshell powder that can be used in all sorts of different conjure and root work. Google it if you want to. I might talk about it later tonight when we talk about hexing. But I was talking to her about making some cascarilla powder. And the way that Grim and I prepare it, it can get a little bit pungent in the kitchen while you're doing it. And the longer you leave the eggshell powder crushed up in a jar, the more pungent the smell gets anyways. They're eggshells. Um, I prefer that smell when I work with the eggshell powder. That's another story. Don't go off task there, Gusky. Gussie, stay focused. Gusky, that's a good one. Um, Balance. She said, "Oh, I would just rather not even make it that way. I don't want to prepare it that way because it's just not worth the argument." Now, I have been in that space before. Not just with Grimm either, with other people. I'm sure you have as well, haven't you? Where you kind of weigh the odds or how much energy you have at the end of the day, and you're like, I think I'll just talk about this later. I'll bring this up at a later date when I have more energy, or maybe not at all. Maybe you're the kind of person that swallows those moments and takes it all on yourself, and suddenly things that were bothering you don't bother you like they were earlier. Now you're turning it inward and you're angry at yourself. That's not balance. But we are constantly put into these spaces of balance almost daily, where you choose one or the other action, which either avoids causing disruption in your space, or it causes ripples. Now, not all of those ripples are bad. Like sometimes you have to go to the grocery store, even though you don't want to go. You have to go get something. Absolutely have to have it for dinner or whatnot. So you push yourself out there, you go out. That causes a ripple. It's not a happy feeling. You don't want to leave the house. You'd rather stay happily ensconced at home. You already got your jammies on, for crying out loud. Maybe you never even took them off. In those kind of moments, that kind of balance, it's kind of constantly coming and going in and out of our lives. And I don't know that we ever really take a step back to realize how often you do balance things. So I'd like you to take a moment and just think about it. Not just balancing your checkbook, um, balancing your feelings, balancing your energy, balancing your daily timeline, balancing how you spend your time online, because I know that is a thing for most of us now, whether it's Zoom meetings for work or trying to maintain friendships during COVID shutdown, whatever the reason that brings you here. Um, we're all, finding ourselves more and more online than we ever thought before. Even old dinosaurs like me, uh, who are kind of stuck between the cool world of technology and I still call it a clicker instead of a TV remote technology. But I digress. Let me go back to balance. The whole thing about balance, and this is where I'm getting this image right now, which is really helpful to me. And I've never quite seen it this way before. Is that too loud, Grim? Because that heater just kicked on over here next to me. Sorry, guys. It gets a little bit loud and warm because I've got the sun coming in. But let me get back to where I was. Sometimes when we approach balance, we have to be like the tightrope walker. Depending on what it is you're trying to balance, who it is you're trying to balance things with, and why. You might find yourself, you're like that person with the soft leather shoes, clinging with your feet to the rope that you're walking on, and you've got this pole to help with your balance, but you take gingerly steps. You step forward carefully. You stay focused on the spot in front of you. You find your balance, and each careful step after each careful step after each careful step is how you glide across that rope. Sometimes balance doesn't require you to kind of hold your breath and take tentative steps forward. Sometimes finding balance means to actually get things moving. Sometimes finding your balance means having to maybe balance plates on a stick. And maybe you've got a couple going up here. Maybe you even get one going on your elbow, right? You're constantly moving. You're keeping things in balance, but you're not dropping the plates. You got things. You got this. You're keeping things in balance. I think we need to reward ourselves more for the hard work that we do give daily to those around us as well as ourselves, because we're getting better at that. But I think we need to acknowledge all of the balancing that we do, all of the balancing, and how much effort that is. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying that I would change it any other way. I love the people that I balance with on a daily. I love the people in my circle that I find balance with me. I love the people that I know. I think it's good for us to know, though, when we are encountering a situation where we are going to have to balance, is this the kind of balancing that you step forward carefully? Or is this the kind of balancing where you keep things moving to make sure that the balance stays equal? That's a deeper message for someone out there. I'm not quite sure who that's meant for, but I'm sure whoever needs to hear that will hear it and respond accordingly. There's a reminder from our ancestors again that they are constantly helping us. They are the ones that built the foundation of who we are now. All of their knowledge, as well as their DNA, comes forward, comes forward, comes forward, comes forward, comes forward. You're basically a biological replication of various DNA from various people throughout the centuries. That is who you are now. You're balancing all of that information, all of that soul searching you've done through the years, all of that wonderment about religion, about the stars, about Egypt, about all kinds of places. All of those things make up who you are. You are constantly keeping all those plates in the air, keeping yourself balanced. Don't forget the physical. That one's real easy to let go. Sometimes that one is the easiest to let go. And I'm here to remind us all to refocus on that one, but that our ancestors have our foundation set. Yes, it might be getting battered with waves. Yes, it might get big windstorms knocking things over. You might have to reset more than once, but that's okay because you've got things in the balance right now. You are okay right where you are. Can things improve? Yes. Can things improve? Absolutely. Is there help along the way? Yes, there's help. You've got people. You've got people that they might not be rowing in the same boat as you, but they're still in the lake and they see if you're in peril. Reach out if you need to. Don't hesitate to do that. I'm reminded, and this is kind of the last thing I'll say before I go. I'm reminded that we can choose to see vibrant colors all around us. I don't necessarily mean bright colors, I mean deep colors that resonate with us. Or we can choose to see them in a black and white manner, kind of going through our daily rounds without really paying much attention to those things around us. But it's all about being in the moment, allowing yourself to see those brighter and deeper colors, allowing yourself to feel like you're standing on a platform that has centuries of knowledge of people standing there before you that are your bloodline ancestors. And you have family around you now, both chosen bloodline family as well as friends that are like family, dear, dear hearts that aren't going anywhere. And they encircle you, they encapsulate you, They are part of your energy circle. They are part of who you are. Keep your balance and give yourself credit for when you do, even if it's small things. And start to take notice of the balancing that you do, because that's all about being in the moment. It's about knowing where you are, what you're doing, and when you're doing it, and why. Stay magical, you guys. Thanks for joining me for tour 20, I was going to say. Thanks for joining me for 420, and I'll talk to you later.
Clairaudient and clairsentient abilities. She's the medium, counselor, and healer of the group and is responsible for most covened up invocation rituals. She is looking forward to this life change as it will allow her time to teach more and work on the long awaited Purple Door Tarot deck.
The final plea.
Our plan is multifaceted and rather open ended, but we are guided in this fluid direction as we share our knowledge and understanding with any person who is curious enough to ask, and with the many witches we will meet along our journey. We would love you to come along with us on this evolution. Will you consider contributing $1 or more if you have it to spare to keep our Purple Door active and accessible to all who ask for entry? We appreciate anything that you can offer, and if you are unable to donate at this time, we ask that you please share. Word of mouth is our favorite method of advertising, after all. Be a part of this, a part of us.
In the meantime, we'll keep the porch light on at the Purple Door and the kettle of brewing on the bus for a good cup of tea and maybe even a tea leaf reading. Just ask. Thank you for being a part of our wonderful community as well as for your support.
Come to the house at the end of the lane with the purple door. When the sun goes down, there you will find the help you need.
Woohoo! I love cranberry juice.
I don't blame you. We invite you to take part in a witchy spiritual journey with us.
Join us on our adventure across the country as we uncover the twisted tales of generational hauntings, community shadows, and family curses bound to the land. We are just two witchy folks committed to spiritual growth with an evolving group of fellow coven members who also love to help the community and give back to the land. We're in process of moving out of our house and into our bus-turned witchy caravan. Soon we'll start our journey across the country to connect with fellow witches and seekers, and we need your help.
A little twisted history and a purple door.